That's the problem with just even normal food is that you have to do your research because it says zero sugar doesn't mean that there's no sugar. Just because it says 0 calories does not mean it has 0 calories. Just because it says it's diet doesn't mean it's diet.
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win.
Hey everybody, welcome to No Holds Barred. I'm your host, Candice Bar, and it's been a little bit. Right now I'm outside of my balcony. It's my little garden area. If you could see behind the camera, I have tomatoes, I have peppers, I have blueberries. I got a whole I have a ton of herbs, and not the kind you smoke, the kind they used to cook with. I got a whole garden going on. So I just thought it's nice out today. It's about 98 degrees in Arizona, but it's a dry heat, as everybody likes to say. I'm not in the sun, so I'm good. And actually, I feel like I'm getting kind of used to it, so we're good to go. But I have Nick with me today. Welcome, Nick.
Hey!
Hello.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a
Of
pleasure to be
course.
here.
Thank you for taking the time. So I like to do the show based off of what's either going on in the world, what I'm going through in my life, anything I want to talk about. It's no holds barred. We talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. So,
Heck yeah.
as we were talking about before we hit record on this thing, health. I've really got into health and wellness quite a bit. It's been a journey for me. I've always been in and out of working out in my 20s. I'm in my late 30s now, but really taking a hold of health and wellness for myself. Definitely the last, I would say, 8 or 9 months for sure.
Of course.
So, and I specifically this month because
Yeah, saying it's been a little bit.
So, as everybody knows, I have shared before, August 30th was the last time I drank alcohol. I don't plan on drinking alcohol again. And then also 3 months ago, out of nowhere, I decided to quit coffee and caffeine. I was drinking coffee since I was 6 years old. I loved coffee. I love the ritual of coffee. I love the smell of coffee. I could not wake up and have a conversation before I had coffee. And one day I was just like, I'm just done. I was just done. So
I just don't know how you do it. You are so strong. I need that cup.
It's a good thing that I did because I feel like your body tells you things and you have the decision to listen to it or not, obviously. But gearing up to what I was going to say, this month has been a real health journey for me. Really clean, very incredibly clean eating, no cheating whatsoever, because I found a naturopathic doctor around where I live, got the blood work done, and found out I have Candida, which 94% of Americans have Candida in small forms or larger forms. How do you get Candida? It's basically a bacteria, or it can come up as a yeast, or it's something in your intestines, in your body, that feed off of sugar and caffeine and alcohol and all the good things. So
Everything you want to have.
yeah. Yes. So, and they don't check for this unless you specifically ask for them to check for that.
Wow.
So it wouldn't just come up if someone got blood work, they'd have to get that done specifically. And good thing she suggested that, because the reason why she even suggested it was because I'm like, I've always been into working out. I work out pretty hard. I work out like a guy. And there's most a lot of women have it's like belly fat that just would not go away. Like, I was dieting, I'm working out, I'm drinking a ton of water, I'm doing all the things, and would not go away. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And so when I found out I had Candida, I was like, that's exactly the area where I can't lose this fat. That's exactly what's happening. So since I've been there's a specific thing called the Candida Diet, and you can Google it. It pops right up what you can and cannot have, or should or should not have. This is your decision. And so since I've been on that diet, I've been very strict on it. I have not gone off of it for a moment. I've lost 1 pound a day.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Like I was telling you before, it's not a fun diet.
No. Sadly, it doesn't seem like it's one of the funner ones, if you will.
Not in any capacity. And also, as people may or may not know, I also went full vegan January 1st. So I have a lot of restriction, self-imposed and also not self-imposed, but you do what you do. I think with health, you're going to pay for it in the front end or the back end. And I rather pay for it in the front end.
Well, that's honestly one of the smarter things to do. I mean, I'm getting closer to my 30s, then closer to my 20s, let's say. And as the audience can probably see, I'm a bigger guy, and I have also had my ups and downs with health. I've gone way up to where I never want to be again, and way down to where I would love to stay. But health is one of those things where it's in your hands, literally. And like we were saying before, it's something before we got on, it's something you can't skip out on.
Mhm.
And I mean, me and Chris, who's usually your co-host on this show,
Yes.
we have been working out almost every day. He's riding his bike 5 miles every single day.
Wow.
We're doing at least 25 to 50 push-ups and sit-ups, and we're really just trying to shed some of the shed some of the pounds, but also like many enjoy an alcoholic drink once in a while, and more than anything, sadly, drinking, as many know, is just empty calories, and so that helps a lot with that also. And it's like you're saying, I don't want to get too far off topic, but it's in your hands, and it's what you
Totally.
have to do with it. But getting back to this diet, I mean, this thing seems like it's like a step above being a keto diet.
Yeah, this is like the most intense diet I've ever been on. And like again, because but I want to go back to you in a second. But again, because it's not just like a decision diet that you're deciding to be on. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this to get healthy. It's like I know I need to do this. There's really no other way around it. So,
Or
and if like you can't really cheat on it because then you're really cheating yourself, and like it's going to just a problem will then become a bigger problem if it's not properly taken care of. So
well, that's it. That's it.
I'm
And I
not
mean, it could be
interested in
diabetes
looking for
or
a bigger
whatever.
problem. So
Exactly. I mean, we're not trying to get this out of hand, and sadly, that's what happens a lot. Is that it does it just a small thing becomes a thing, and then all of a sudden it becomes something that you just can't even get a grip on.
mhm. And it's one thing to not know about something. It's quite another to know it and then also make a decision against it. That's a
Yeah.
completely different thing. So, and I'm not one to, challenge doesn't bother me. And being uncomfortable for a moment for a bigger outcome has never bothered me. So I always had a pretty strong mind. But is it easy? Absolutely fucking not. It's not easy. Is it fun? Absolutely fucking not. It's not fun. Like I was telling you earlier before we got on, I'm like, I'm not even going out to avoid temptation.
Of course.
Also, because everything's so restrictive, going out is not fun at this point in time
Of course.
because what are you gonna eat? What are you even gonna drink?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like we were saying before, well, you could have a salad, but I can make a salad at home,
I make salad at
because
home.
it's not like
Yeah,
it's a chef salad where they're putting in meats or anything. You're vegan, so it's like,
very so again, highly restrictive, but it pays off in the end. But like that's kind of I did want to highlight that. Like that's kind of the level that it takes to get what you want. It's like, no, I'm not going out. I'm not being invited to places all the time in Arizona and Los Angeles. Like I'm just not going. So I'm not doing a lot of things for health reasons. So you're staying home a lot. Like hopefully you're an introvert. I'm an introvert, thank goodness, because I don't mind. I really don't mind it at all.
hmm,
I still get a lot of work done. Like I really enjoy my own company. Um, but if you're an extrovert and that's the step that you need to take to get your result, it's going to be a hard time for you.
hmm. And if that is, you're an extrovert, it's something that you really should take the time to, if you have to go out, you have to go see people, take the time, make that lunch, make that dinner,
Mhm.
bring it with you. I mean, most places, I mean, for me and my friends, we're going to breweries where they most of the time have no problem letting you bring your own food. Now, that's totally counterproductive, brewery and health food, but
Right.
the point is the same, is that you have to put in that effort to go, I'm going to do this for me and for myself because I need to, or I'm going to regret it later on.
Totally. Totally. And also, I wanted to go off of what you said earlier. It's like when I was drinking, because I drank for a very long time, I had a lot of fun. Um, I don't know if drinking per se was the gaining weight problem for me. I think the poor food choices after drinking was the gaining weight problem.
Mhm.
Because I
Mhm.
wasn't really drinking sugary drinks. A lot of it was straight tequila. So
Oh, yeah.
a good portion of that. So, but I do think it was the poor food choices after drinking. It's like, yeah, I'll have those nachos, and yes, I will have that hot dog I would never normally fucking eat. Or yeah, I
Mm,
will have all those like whatever French fries and cheese and
of
whatever,
course.
all the good things.
Wings, all the good bar food that you wanna
Yes,
have that you just you don't think about it, just let me keep notching.
yes, yes. So, and clearly everyone's lifestyle is different. Everyone's goals are different for themselves. But I do think, we're coming to a time in the world that plant-based is really the wave of the future. It's already here. Um, because and I'm not one of those vegans who are like, I can't stand it's almost like a religion. Like people have to shove it down your throat, and that's not the point of this conversation at all. But
Of course.
it's just the point of the conversation is really being conscious and aware of what you're putting in your mouth, what you're putting in your body, and how because food is supposed to be fuel. So
Exactly.
how is that fueling you? How is your body functioning off of that? Is that serving you, or is that just unconscious eating?
Exactly. And I think another thing to really think about is that I mean, we're also living in the age of technology where you have so many different things available to you, where whether it's HelloFresh, where you're getting literally to your door every day a meal that is made. Hey, you're only supposed to be having 2,000 calories a day. This is your meal. You eat this. Once again, you could take the time to plan everything out. Oh, and more so, I mean, vegan is getting really big. I mean, it's not getting to be did you check out the one vegan place in town?
Right.
It's becoming very popular and there's now more than ever in the supermarkets, there's so many options. I really want a hamburger. Well, I'm vegan now. They have an alternative that, I have very close friends that are vegan and
Mm,
there's a lot of the time when I forget that I'm even having a
mhm.
vegan hamburger. I mean, it's about the ingredients and the time that you put into it. It's not just the meat. But that's almost
Totally.
anything, you
It's
know?
really interesting too because when you start going down the rabbit hole of like what you're actually putting in your mouth, and again eating consciously, aware of what you're eating, like there is something it's called dirty vegan or clean vegan now. It's not just vegan across the board. So then you do the research, dirty vegan. It is those burgers actually. Like it's like there's a lot of not good stuff in those burgers. So then you have to go clean vegan. What does clean vegan look like? They have vegan chocolates. I mean, when I first started becoming vegan, like I had to also learn that because I was like, oh, it's vegan, has to be healthy. Not the case. I was gaining weight. So I was like, oh, chocolates are fine. These chocolates are fine.
Of
It's
course,
vegan.
of
It's vegan.
course.
So I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, and that's the problem with just even normal food is that you have to do your research because
Yeah.
you don't know just because it says zero sugar doesn't mean that there's no sugar. Just because it says 0 calories does not mean it has 0 calories. Just because it says it's diet doesn't mean it's diet.
Hmm. Yeah, especially like again, the American food in America. So it's interesting. I've had many friends that go to Europe. They're eating pasta. They're eating all the cheeses. They're eating all the desserts, all the yumminess, drinking whatever. Really living it up. Coming back and across the board, everyone's always like, I don't know how, but I lost weight and I was eating and drinking and da da da. And I
Mhm.
hear this because they don't have all the crap in their food that we do.
That's it. That's it.
All the fillers, we don't even know what the hell's in it. To be honest.
Preservatives,
Yes.
everything. I mean, you can see in even studies right now, they're saying, children are maturing at a faster rate because, I wonder if it has something to do with all the preservatives, all the growth steroids that they put into all the chickens and the meat and everything. And I mean, now we're only finding out really about this stuff in the last 10, 15 so odd years. Well, it's going to be a really interesting to see in another 10 or so years when all these people are, either in their 30s or 40s when, life just starts happening. Your body starts going through different changes. And, well, those changes may be a little bit more than, you would think because of the different
Yeah.
things you're putting into your body.
Oh, yeah. So that even goes to going down that rabbit hole. It's like, knowing that there's steroids in it, knowing that there's toxins in it, knowing that there's whatever else crap is in it.
Yes.
Even honestly, even, just because you're plant-based doesn't mean you're safe either.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
I
it's like, is it
yeah.
organic? Well, here's the interesting thing. It was organic before they started spraying all the pesticides and shit
Mhm.
on it. So you're actually taking something that originally was, putting toxins on it, and then we have to pay for the reverse of what it originally was. Does that make sense? Does that make
No, not
sense?
at all. Not at all. And it's not
But
something you can
also,
scrape
on
off.
the next step of that, if it's sold at supermarkets and it says organic, doesn't also mean it's organic. So that means you're also paying for something that may or may not be. That's just like the water. People buy bottled water, Essentia, Fiji, all the expensive good ones,
Yep.
thinking it's better water for you. That's why I'm a huge advocate of the Kangen water machine, because
Yes.
that is actually live, active water that's working with your body. Bottled water that's sitting is dead, lifeless water that is not renewing your cells, that's not doing anything for your body, that's not even hydrating you. So you want to go down this rabbit hole? We can
Yeah.
go down this rabbit hole,
You
but
you can just keep on going down.
it's just the word is again being aware and conscious of what's
Yes.
going into your body, and also being picky. You're allowed to be picky with yourself. I mean, people will spend X amount on shoes and clothes and purses, and I like all the good shit too. Don't get me wrong, I got the good
Oh, yeah.
stuff. But also, like, they'll buy that over buying better food choices,
Well, that's
better
it.
decisions for themselves.
That's it. And I mean, it's a corny, I feel like after school message, but you get in or you get out what you put in.
Totally.
And it really when I was at my worst weight and I started working out, I mean, just going up the stairs
Mm,
wasn't running out of breath because I'll be honest with
mm,
you, at my worst weight, just going up the stairs was getting me out of breath, running up,
wow.
and it once I started, actually really working out, losing the weight, I lost 55 pounds in 3 months.
Oh,
And,
wow.
it- you
Jeez.
know, it's, if you say that you're going to do something and you really put your mind to it, anything is possible. I mean,
Oh,
and I did almost nothing different than my diet. The only thing I can say for sure that I did was I cut out soda. I cut out soda entirely.
oh
And
my God. Ooh,
other than
let's talk
that,
about this, Nick. Let's talk
mhm,
about this because
oh boy.
like you just mentioned soda. So,
Yep.
4 days ago, I had an Uber driver, and I don't know how this topic came up. Food, veganism, all that stuff came up. I didn't bring it up. He recommended a barbecue place. And I said, well, that would be great if it was before January, but and then that's when that conversation started. But he was also talking about losing weight and da da da. And I said, what is your daily diet? Like, I'm not a nutritionist, however, I do know what foods function better than others. And he's like, I eat this, I eat this, I eat that, soda. I said, do you know that if you just cut out soda, just soda, not cutting out anything else. I don't need you to eat like a whole sleeve of Oreos, but like not cutting out anything
Yeah,
else. If you just cut out soda, you're gonna, especially being a guy, because you guys lose weight way faster than we do, you'll cut weight immediately.
it's
And he's like,
ridiculous.
really? It's crazy.
Believing Before Seeing, a new book by Candice Bar, teaching you how to believe into existence. Available now for pre-order.
It is so ridiculous. The amount of weight just from, like I said, that's all I did was I quit. And I mean, working out every day, I was running 5 miles. I was biking
Wow.
5 miles in the gym. Now, I am not a runner, but when I get on that treadmill, I'll go until I hit that 5 and then I'll finally press stop. So, I mean,
Wow.
that's what you need to keep your, if you say, well, I can't keep myself moving, well, that machine will keep you moving
Right.
until it's time to stop. And if that's what the mindset you need to go in, that's the mindset I needed. I needed,
Totally.
I have my water. I'm not going to dehydrate. I'm not going to die. It's going to be okay. But if you keep that in, I mean, the weight was literally dripping off of me practically.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm so jealous because you
I wish I was at that weight still. Life sadly happens, and I got back up a few pounds, but I'm working on it now. As I said earlier,
that's
we're
that's
making
the other thing too. It's like, you're not gonna be perfect all the time.
that's
Let's
it.
like no one here is pretending to be perfect all the time. But it's the thing of it is, if you do get off your track, you then readjust to get back
Yep,
on.
that's it.
You
That's
don't
it.
just quit and then, just
I own.
compromising yourself, taking less than what you are. You don't need to be doing that. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to negotiate yourself. It's going to take work. It took work to gain weight. It's also going to take work
Yes.
to lose weight.
To lose it. That's it. That's
And
it.
unfortunately, I think it
Yep.
takes more work to lose it than to gain it.
Sadly, it really does. But you feel better, and it's all those things that people say. I feel so much better about myself.
Mm.
Just going up a staircase, I feel better. It's true. My knees feel better. My ankles feel better. You wake up and you're not as tired. I mean, as
Mm.
simple as that. I mean, and now we're getting off total track and going into a total exercise thing. But
I'll talk
thing,
about it because
what
this is the topic that really interests me. Just
what
because
you
I'm
put in,
it.
you get out. What you put in, you get out.
Totally, totally. And then it does become what does it say? Like, it's true. These are all true things. Like, it takes 21 days for something to become a habit, right?
Yep.
Or so they say. Like, you just got it. I don't feel like working out every day. I don't. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie and say that I do. I do weights with my trainer over Zoom every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then right after, it's an hour of weights. And then right after that, I'm on the treadmill for an hour. And then right after that, I'm going to infrared sauna for 40 minutes. So, and then in between the days of weight training, my ass is on the treadmill for an hour, and then I'm still going to the infrared sauna. So there is no, unless I take Sunday off. Unless I don't feel like I might go do a session of treadmill again, because I really
Yeah.
do love cardio. Cardio to me, you do lose weight, but for me, it's more for my mind than the body. Because I'm like a runner dog, similar to you. I could run forever.
Yes.
So, but it's just like clears out your mind. You get it's a runner's high. That's get
Yeah.
real clarity, clarification. Um, you get downloads, you get different ideas because you're stimulating that part of your mind.
You also, I don't know how to put it, but I would best say the words I would say right now is you have cleaner thoughts.
Mm.
You're not. When I was really in that, I was on that runner's high every day, working out and everything. You almost feel like you get into, for lack of a better word, a zone, and
Totally.
you feel like everything that you're thinking about all day long. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do that. Well, you know what? I don't know if that's eating dirty and all that helps compound, but it almost feels more like, okay, I can do this. That's okay. I can do that today. I can do that today.
Yeah.
Once again, what you put in, what you take is what you get out. You're putting in all these bad foods, and you feel bad that you ate it. You're starting to, why did I do that? Well, why did I do this? Well, why did I do that? Well, how am I going to do this if I'm eating bad at this? And what you put in, you get out.
Totally. And you're right on that too, because like when you're on a consistent working out system, whether you feel like it or not, the point is the action of doing it. The
Exactly.
feelings will follow. The feelings will follow behind it. I believe after 21 days, in my experience at least, like I look forward to going on the treadmill. Like I don't find the treadmill to be a big deal. Like sometimes I don't always feel like doing weight training because that's more difficult for me. But I usually get up like wanting to go do the treadmill now. Was it always like that? No, absolutely fucking not. It wasn't always like that.
Of
But
course.
it is now. And also like you were saying with the food, it's like, if you're eating clean thoughts, like very, you're in like
it all comes together. It's all a package.
totally,
Package deal.
totally. Like, and you're just, decision making is more clear, communication is more clear.
More
These
clear.
things are important for your business. This is what
Mhm.
helps the business 10x, I would say.
Mhm.
Like it's really, you can do positive affirmations all day long. It all feeds each other. It all goes together. One is not important than the other. It really has to be all encompassing for all of that to work.
100%. You really need to, this once again, I feel bad because all these things are sounding, I feel like sounding a little corny, but I mean, they're just true. You can't have yin without yang.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have clean thoughts. You can't have a healthy body and a healthy mind if all you're putting in, excuse my language, is shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just the truth.
It's completely true, because your fuel, food is fuel.
Yes.
And people are unconsciously eating that, meaning like whatever's placed in front of them, they're probably like, shoving down their throat, or like, oh, I feel like lemon poppy seed cake, which I do, but I'm not going to eat it because that's not going to serve my outcome and my goal that I'm going for. The second I can, I will, but right now we're not going to.
Of course. I mean, but it's having that commitment, having that drive to say, I need to do this, not only to get a goal, I need to do this for me, because for the millionth time, what you put in is what you get out. And
Completely.
you have to put in those positive affirmations. You have to put in that good fuel. You have to put in that good energy, because that's what you get.
Also, I will also share, and you may want to add to this too, with your journey that you've been on or are on. It's like just have to switch something in the brain. It's like, if I'm craving coffee, I will have an herbal tea. I'll have a replacement. If I'm craving chips, I will have carrot sticks, because the mind is just actually, you're not craving necessarily the taste of it. You're craving like the crunch of it. So you just, is the same. It's not the same, but you want to replace it with a healthy alternative.
I did the same exact thing with opening the fridge. I cannot tell you I would not take anything, but looking in the fridge, seeing the food there, being like, oh, I could have some chips in that dip. I could have a piece of cheese and that. I don't know why, psychologically, it did it for me. I would look and I go, I'm stronger than this, and I would close the door. Like, just knowing it's there was enough,
Well, to go off of that, like I don't do it anymore, but I used to, when I was on other diets, I used to fill up my Instacart cart with like everything that I wanted, like absolutely wanted to eat, all the bad stuff, and not order it. Or
no, I understand. I totally understand.
Or what else would I do? Oh, I still do it actually now. I don't know why I do this. I think it's like a level of torture, but I find it very calming. When I'm on the treadmill working out, I will watch cooking shows.
Really? Oh my God. I just imagine watching diners, drive-ins, and dives and being like, oh my God, wait, it's right here. It's right here in LA.
Like, I don't know.
3 more miles. 3 more miles.
Time. Like, I'll watch that, or I'll watch like Ina Gardner,
Okay.
or I'll watch any like YouTube cooking show, and like I'll go on the treadmill, and like I won't go get the thing or make the thing, but it just like, I just like to see it.
Yeah, it does it for you. It's getting it. You're eating it with your eyes. You're eating it with your eyes.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't know what psychologically that does to you, but for me, it does it. That does it.
I agree with you. Oh, I agree. Like, even so, like I was saying before, like, having substitutes or replacements, I think makes things easier. So if you're someone who loves soda, I would highly recommend a flavored carbonated water.
Yeah.
Like just find like example, like when before this this particular diet, just like my regular vegan diet, I loved, I used to love peanut butter and jelly. So I'll eat dates and unsalted cashews. And like, to me, that's very similar. So like, you just have to find what works for you. That's a healthier version of things that you love.
Exactly. And I mean, is it hard? Yes. And like we said, like we both said, nobody wants to get on the treadmill every day. Nobody wants to go work out every day. Nobody wants to eat clean every day.
Right.
But for the last time, I'm going to say it. What you put in is what you get out.
Totally. It doesn't necessarily have to be torturous. I definitely in the beginning, the first few weeks, it's not going to be a fun ride. But again, just as you were taught to eat badly or
Exactly.
poorly, you can teach yourself how to eat well.
Yes, yes, and the good, like we said, the clean eating and everything, it just helps. The second you can make it a habit to just go and do these things is the second your head is going to start thanking you, because I feel good that I'm doing this and I want to come back tomorrow to see me look even better the next day and the next
Totally.
day and the next day.
Totally. And it's really, well, for me at least, it's satisfying to be like, you know what, I was craving this thing and I didn't act on it. And you just do that motion or do that thought every single day. And then it does get easier and easier. You don't
Oh,
have to give into every single craving. I mean, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're giving into every single craving, that's why we are where we are.
exactly.
So it's like,
Exactly.
you don't have to give into everything. It's like you do have the wherewithal and you do have the strength to
Yes,
get to where you want to go. It is a process, it is a journey.
it is.
And just knowing that it's not going to all happen tomorrow for you, but it is, within that journey is a lot of learning lessons, and you'll be quite proud of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the overall thing, and I mean, let's be honest, we all look at ourselves when, we're changing, we're in the bathroom, we're taking a shower or whatever. You notice those changes when you start working out.
Totally.
You
Totally.
all
Like
of
when you
those
start
all
seeing
of those
results,
parts, all of
you
those
keep it
parts.
going.
That's it.
You keep it
I
going.
mean, that's it though. That's what you want to see. You want to see yourself starting to look better. And I mean, that's the biggest reward is when you start to see that progress. I mean, that got me in the gym even more.
Totally.
Yeah, just
Let
I
me
can keep going.
I just don't, well, I want to ask you this. If you don't mind me asking,
Of course.
did you or do you find yourself, are you, do you think that you're an emotional eater? Emotional eating, for people watching or listening,
Oh,
is like
uh,
if something good is going on, you reward yourself with food. If something bad is going on, you comfort yourself with food. If like you're bored, you're, filling that
mhm,
time with food.
mhm. Oh, well, so I come from an Italian family, and I mean, my mom will tell you if I'm upset or somebody's upset, they're hurt or something, let me cook you something. Let me
Mm,
make something for you. And that's been my entire life. So I mean, 100%. That is, I mean, when I'm bored, I would love to have some chips.
mm.
When I'm sad, God, give me a 2-liter bottle of soda and, a candy bag or something,
Or
but
like I would love to have like a huge lasagna.
yes. Oh. Yeah, if it was a bad fit time, I mean, I'd be like, I'm so upset. My mom would be like, what do you want me to make you? And I mean, it could be lasagna. She would make it for me. She's a sweetheart. But I mean,
Wow.
that's the thing is that I definitely would consider myself an emotional eater, and it's been very hard. Especially, when I was living at home, just trying to be like, no, mom, it's not that I don't love your cooking, I don't love you,
Mhm,
blah 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 blah. Because
mm.
everything is, it's emotional around food. You don't think about it, but there's a ton of emotion in it, and it's like I gotta do this for me. Like we've been saying, is you have to do what's right for you, and to make those commitments, even if it's hard, even if you're an emotional leader and you went, Nikki, you just ran 5 miles today, hot dig dang, let's go have a glass of Coke. No, no, that just
Right.
totally ruins the whole purpose of the whole thing.
And as you just brought up, it's such a good point. It's like, food is so social. It's family or friends, it's social. Drinks are very social. And when you take those two things out of the mix, what do you fill the time with? How do you be social and not, not like I'm like, I could be alone forever and be super fucking happy, but like not everyone runs like that. So a lot of humans are social, we're social animals. So it's like, how do you fill the time with friends and family and not have that in the mix? It's like you really have to be creative on how to do that.
Exactly. And I mean, for being in, an Italian family where food is a big thing. I mean, hey, whenever I go home to go see my parents, our schedule is around food. What we have
Mhm,
for lunch and dinner.
mhm,
And it's one of those things where, I mean, once again, it's you have to dig deep and you have to go, okay, you know, mom's making her lasagna. Now, I usually have two pieces. I'm going to just have my one piece. One piece is enough for anybody,
Mhm,
you know.
mhm,
But
mhm.
and if that's the
And
you
it's like,
know
do
that's
we have the garlic bread? Like, do we have the
exactly.
desserts?
And it's those small things though, you know, and it adds up like everything. Is it
Yep,
really adds up? And you know, especially like garlic bread. I mean, that's just empty calories. But I mean, so delicious, so delicious. It's what you want.
so
You know,
good.
you're having it with your family. You're literally breaking bread. You know,
Totally.
it's such a social thing to do. But you know, you gotta be careful with what you're putting in because I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm much bigger than I would like to be, and I wouldn't want to wish being as big as me on anybody, if you know what I mean. You know, I want to work to make myself happier for myself, and you know, it's a journey, it's a process, and
It's
you have
totally
to
the
put in
process
the work.
completely. And also
You
too,
have to
like the
put in
cool
that
thing of
work.
it is like we're in an age and an era that everything's at our fingertips, right? So it's like, okay, I want lasagna. And then I'm going into like looking up like vegan lasagna. Then it's going into like how to even make that vegan lasagna a clean vegan lasagna. So
Mm,
there's ways to get around everything. It's like you want ricotta. Well, we can make ricotta actually out of cashews and tofu and season it. It tastes pretty much the same. It's like you
exactly.
just have to be able to adjust.
And adjust and be open. Be open to trying new things. Be open
Totally.
to the experience. I mean,
Totally.
it's life and it's going to keep on going whether you want it to or not. So you might as well buckle up and get ready for the ride.
And also, like you said earlier, which is such a great point, it really is in your hands. So if
It
you
is.
want something or don't want something, you're the only one that can determine that
That's
for yourself and that can make that happen for yourself. No one, you can have help. Like I have a
mm,
trainer, you can even get a nutritionist. At some level, you can get a chef if you need to. Like you can source out what's needed
exactly.
if needed. But it really is like you're the only one putting this in your mouth and you're the only one walking down the street. You're the only one going to the gym. It's really comes down to you.
Exactly. And if you are not willing to put in the work, then you will sadly not see the results you want.
And you have no one else to blame but yourself. So
Yourself. And you know
yeah,
what? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to blame themselves
I
for anything.
know. I
So
know. It's again, it goes to willpower, goes to goals. But this,
that's
I love this conversation. We can have this conversation again
conversation
too.
for hours.
Okay, so we had a great show. I'm excited to do this again. I love talking about all things health, food, water, going down that rabbit hole. Thank you, Nick, for co hosting with me.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. Feel free to reach out to us. We have a links below how to contact us. If you want us to talk about a conversation you haven't heard before, or you want to get our 2 cents on it, or if you have any
Uh,
questions, comments, anything like that, we love engaging with our audience. Again, thank you everyone for listening and watching No Holds Barred, and we will see you all again soon. Bye, everybody.
See ya.